Welcome back to the D4 channel, and today we'll be doing a spoiler review for The Bad Batch episode 12 of season 2. So if you haven't seen episode 12 of season 2 of The Bad Batch, leave now because this is a spoiler review. Now, this episode, The Outpost, woo! Like, The Bad Batch has been doing these mixtures of these fun adventure of the week episodes, and then they hit us with an episode that really makes us think and really makes us sad, but in a good, interesting way, because now we are following Crosshair, our great, very edgy Bad Batch clone, and he gets assigned to this icy planet with this very dick-headed lieutenant of the Imperial. And again, the Imperial people could have ruled the galaxy for much longer than 20 years if they just shifted how they treated certain people, in particularly the clones. This guy clearly has no respect for the clones at all, and poor Crosshair is just here, just being a good soldier, following orders. And we meet this great clone. This clone's name is Mayday. Oh my god. What the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch have done for my love for these great human beings, these great clones, these great troopers, is making me fall in love with each one of them. And I very much love how D. Bradley Baker makes every individual clone have a unique and distinct personality. And of course, Mayday's name is kind of ironic because of what happens to him later on in the episode. But Mayday meets this Imperial lieutenant. He's like, bro, we've been here for like a month or so. Like, did you get lost? And he's like, I love how he's just talking trash to them. He's like, how many missions did you lead again? And he's like, yeah, that's what I thought. But the lieutenant sends Crosshair and Mayday to get this crate that has been stolen from the base, and he says, "You know what?" He's like, "I need a whole crew because literally I just lost some men in this raider attack." And the guy's like, "No, you're not gonna get any of my men. It's just gonna be you two. You two go and retrieve the crates." And I'm like, "Oh my god, this guy's such an ass." And he's lucky that Crosshair was there because Crosshair's and each individual members of the Bad Batch, to be honest, are basically a squad in themselves. So them sending Crosshair and Mayday, I'm like, all right, fine, that's fine. They could easily do that with Crosshair in it. So I just love Crosshair and Mayday just talking, and Mayday's like, bro, I'm just here in the cold, in the wilderness, and Crosshair's just like, I'm just here, I'm gonna just do my order. And just to see all the fallen helmets of all the clones that used to be here on this icy planet, clearly the Imperials do not care about these clones anymore. They are trying to phase them out, wrongly so, because they are going to be much better than any trooper they recruit. But to see Crosshair and Mayday go through it, when Crosshair went on the mine, and then they started to talk about how basically the only ones left. Crosshair says his crew, Bad Batch, Clone Force 99, they're gone. But Mayday thinks that he means dead, but he means they're not with him anymore. And I really hope that Crosshair finds his way back to his brothers in one piece. May I mind you, in one piece, because these episodes are making me love Crosshair. I get where he's coming from. Like, again, in the first season, they abandoned him, and he even says that you didn't come back for me, and I am a soldier. The Republic is the Empire, and I will follow them till the death because I am that important. I am special. And slowly in this episode, he's realizing, no, I am not special. I am disregarded, and I am just used material to these guys. Like, they don't care about me. I'm as useless as the regs, as he likes to say. So just to see him and Mayday, kind of bond in this weird way. And Crosshair starts off with saying, basically, because Mayday says to one of the people, the raiders, they just left one of his dead bodies there. And he's like, what? They just left him here. And he's like, Crosshair's like, well, no use carrying dead weight. And Mayday's like, remind me not to die on your watch, because the clones don't leave anybody behind. Even if they die, they bring their brothers back for a proper burial and goodbye. And clearly, Crosshair is changing a little bit throughout this episode, because he says that, but later on in the episode, when Mayday is injured and basically dying, he carries him back. Old Crosshair probably just left him there and went back to the base by himself, but he carries him back. So after they go through that whole dogfight, they realize that the crates they were looking for is nothing but TK armor, and it's like, they're like, bro, we risked our lives, we died for the Imperial War Machine's new trooper armor. He's like, this is ridiculous. We've been asking for armor and resources since the jump that we've been on here, and there's been no reply, and we've been dying for our replacements. And I love how Mayday says, we were good soldiers, we followed orders, and they are good soldiers, and they did follow orders. And of course, that's a line that they say when the chip activates during Order 66, good soldier follow orders. But Mayday's right, they were good soldiers and they followed orders, and for what? And that's for what really hit a core in not only me as a fan, but probably Crosshair, because they did all of this, they served the Empire to the T, and for what? They're being discarded for this new legion of soldiers. And just to see them go through, like, I love Mayday, and I knew Clone, like, I thought he was gonna die, but then when I saw them walking through the snow, like, okay, well, maybe Mayday might make it, because I fell in love with this clone during this episode. No, he doesn't make it, and Crosshair tells that asshole lieutenant, he tells him he needs medical attention, like, help him, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna help him. He's gonna die. He served his purpose. He's dead weight. He's a useless tool. And Crosshair, like, Cross is going through it. He's like, bro. He's like, are you serious? And he's like, and what really put the nail in the coffin for this lieutenant of the Empire, he says, listen to me. Do not get this wrong. Just like Mayday, you are replaceable. You are worth nothing. And that pretty much sealed the deal for this guy, because Crosshair was like, you know what? I've had enough of this shit. And he shoots him. And I did one of the biggest cheers in my room when he shot that lieutenant. And I'm like, finally, Crosshair, this is what I wanted for you for like a whole season now. And he drops unconscious and he gets arrested. And he's sent to Mount Mount Tentis? I can never get that name right, but he's sent to the mountain where they're doing all these crazy experiments, and I really hope they don't wipe his brain or turn him into a machine man. I hope, or whatever they're doing, I hope that the Bad Batch finds him in time before it's too late, because I have a very bad feeling about what's going to happen to Crosshair at the end of the season. I think a couple of things might happen. One, he might redeem. This is the all good version. He redeems himself. He's pretty much in one piece. He joins his brother again. This is Star Wars, so that part is not going to happen. Possibility 2, he redeems himself and then he dies. Classic Star Wars trope. Redeems, dies. Or he could be his memory could be completely wiped and he's turned to like this Terminator-like killer. He has no memory or feelings of both his brothers or himself, and they have to kill him. So one of those two is going to happen, because he's not going to be redeemed, and he's not joining his brothers all alive and happy, dude, because this is Star Wars. So I'm going to discard that thought in my head. But the episode ends with him in like this chair, and I'm like, damn, Crosshair. I really hope there's a good ending for Crosshair, but it seems to be like they're probably not going to go down that path. But you let me know what your thoughts of episode 12 of season 2 of The Bad Batch was. Did you like this episode, or are you being preoccupied by The Mandalorian and you have forgotten about The Bad Batch completely? You let me know in the comments below. And again, like and subscribe to the D4 channel for all the Star Wars goodness. And from me, Hamid, and my counterpart, Danielle, may the Force be with you always.